Welcome back to the channel and to another video on the Golf Edition 30 behind me, and arguably this is one of the more exciting videos because we are going to be doing the Golf's first handling modification, and this is of course the Golf in question. It is a 3-door manual Golf Edition 30 and I need this car to be able to do 3 things for me. It needs to be able to go around a track, it needs to be able to be adequate on country roads and English B roads, and 3, I do want to take it to some car shows, so we do need to sort out a couple of little visual bits. And if you have watched some of the previous videos, you will already know we've had the wheels refurbed, Michelin Pilot Sport 5s on, and we have already done a few little maintenance bits to this car. We've done the balance shaft delete, and we've also fitted the car with a TTRS completely custom clutch. It was of course modified to fit, they are not a direct fit, but this should be good for a good amount of power, which will be coming in a video soon. But power is not what we're chasing in this video, handling is, and so we have got one of arguably the most important and also a really good first modification to sort out the handling on this Golf Edition 30. Now apologies, I know it has been a little while since the last video, but unfortunately as the cars are scaling up, so is the price of parts, and specifically performance parts, which does just mean that I do need to save up in between these videos to be able to justify spending the money on something like this. If you are enjoying the videos, please make sure you are subscribing, commenting and smashing the like button on these videos, because it all helps keep the channel growing and ticking over and puts more money back into these cars and the other projects on the channel. So if you could take 2 seconds, click subscribe, that'd be much appreciated. Right, let's have a look at what we've got. And this is what we've gone for, a set of Germany's finest KW V2 adjustable coilovers. So these are a 2-way adjustable coilover, being the KW V2. They're height adjustable and also damping adjustable, so it should be perfect for what I need and a nice balance between track and daily road use. So let's take a look inside. But performance aside, these are also some of the best looking coilovers money can buy. Just look at those. Signature purple and yellow all the way through. The quality of these is just unbelievable. Full stainless steel, so they should be corrosion resistant, and yet just known as some of the best coilovers that you can buy. Now you may notice on these they have already got top mounts on them, so you can see that little badge there, that is probably a bit of a giveaway, but these are OEM TTRS top mounts. So obviously to match the clutch, there is quite a lot of interchangeable parts on these cars between the Edition 30s and the TTRSs. These are effectively a solid top mount, or a more solid top mount than comes standard on the car, so hopefully should just improve that handling and the dynamic of the car. So yeah, if you do want to get some of these to go on top of your coilovers, or just as an upgrade, find yourself the number plate of a Mark II TTRS and your local Audi centre should be able to source these for you. Now, as I'm sure a lot of you will know, the KWs are not the cheapest thing in the world, so it has taken me a little while just to save up, but I am so glad that they are eventually here and we are ready to fit them. This is a first set of proper suspension that I've had to fit to a sort of a performance oriented car. You will of course already know, if you are a original subscriber to this channel, that we did get some Gaz custom made coilovers fitted to the Polo, but I'm really excited to compare the Gazes to the KWs. This is a first set of serious adjustable suspension that I've ever had. KW are obviously renowned for the performance and also the build quality, so I am expecting very big things from these V2s. But in the meantime, let's get that car up in the air and get this job underway. Here we go. So as always, the first step is just to get this car up in the air, and in my case I needed to battle through all the years of spider's webs just to get these 3 nuts on top of both sides cracked off. After that, car in the air, take the wheel off, and there's just 2 retaining bolts, one at the bottom of the strut and one that connects your anti-roll bar to the suspension itself. After you've done this, you should be able to give it a few little love taps and it might just come out if you're lucky. There is a special spreader tool that you can put in the back of the knuckle. This will just help give the strut a little bit of movement, and a few more love taps and you should have it off. Here I'm just compressing the spring just to give me a little bit more room to work with. I didn't really want to take all the drive shafts and the knuckle off, so I tried to do this best I can, which ended up working. Take the 3 bolts out at the top and you should be able to wiggle it out. Okay, so the first one is off. As you can see, just used a couple of spring compressors just to give it a little bit more movement once you're in there, because I really didn't want to take all the knuckle and stuff like that off. So I'll grab the new coilover, put it in place, and I'll show you what we are working with. If we just lie them next to each other, you can see, get them even, it is a little bit shorter even though that one has got the spring compressors on. But yeah, that hopefully should give us a little bit of extra movement once we're getting it in, make it really easy. You can see the main differences, how much of a progressive spring this is compared to that one, which is just the same thickness all the way around. So hopefully it should improve the handling massively. Now, apologies for people that aren't into the lowered cars, but as you know from the Polo days, if you do give me an option to lower my car, it will be on the lowest setting. So I'm going to set them all to the absolute lowest it can go. I don't think it's massively drastic anyway. We'll stick them on and then we'll see how the car sits. If we need to make some adjustments, we shall do it later. But for now, let's try and get that back on there. So installing the new coilover is essentially just the same thing in reverse. I found it easiest to basically put the strut in place, get the 3 bolts retaining it from the top, and then you can push down on the entire hub and you should be able to wiggle it in. I then used a jack just to put a little bit of pressure on the underneath of the knuckle. This sits the coilover in place, and once it's in place, you can then just tighten up that retaining nut on the back of that. And then you just need to tighten up your anti-roll bar linkage. Now, while the wheel was off, I couldn't resist giving these brakes a clean. We have got a nice big brake kit on here that has been refurbished in the past, so it felt criminal not to clean it while it was off. But once that's done, the wheel goes back on and we're on to the other side. Okay, so day 2 back on the car and the job is completely done. Apologies that I only filmed that one front side. Backs are generally speaking really easy, but yeah, it was just a long, painful job. Everything is now done. I did round off 1 bolt, so I have been to VW this morning, got a new bolt, but I'll quickly show you what the car is looking like now that the KWs are completely installed. And bear in mind, this is the lowest that they will go. Let's take a look. So there we go, and although it is lowered, it is not drastic at all. There is still plenty of room between the arch, and yeah, I'm really happy with how that's looking. Sits really well, could do with a few spacers again on the back, but overall really happy with it. Looks mint, can't wait to take it out for a drive. So the last thing I need to do is just get it back up in the air, and there is 1 bolt, which is this, which goes in the lower part of the shock, or through the lower part of the shock into the hub. This one just, yeah, all the threads just knackered yesterday. So I've been to VW, like I said, this morning, picked up this bolt, we'll get it back in the air. I'll give you a quick little look at what it's all looking like fitted, and then yeah, we will take it out for a drive and see how much of a difference this suspension has done. But visually, I'm over the moon with that. Absolutely bang on. Okay, it's just a very quick one. This is where we're up to. As you can see, that is exactly where this spring sits, just in there, and then rests on the top. And this, just here, that is a bolt in question, but as you can see, shock all in place. You do get new dust guards and everything like that with it, all looking very nice. I've obviously matched the adjustment at the top, because once it's on, you cannot change that. You do have to take those 2 bolts off, drop the shock out, and then you can adjust them, which is a little bit of a nuisance, but it is what it is. So next steps, I just need to get this bolt out. Hopefully it's going to be the exact same as the one that I've got, and we'll go from there. So this is the old bolt, and you can see just how badly I rounded it off. Now, it did seem like the bolt had taken the brunt of it, but this is the state of the hub. As you can see, half the bolt is still in there. So it was a little call to Reese, called in a favour, and over he came to save the day. So Reese quickly cleaned out the threads with a tap and die set. It went absolutely fine, but of course, VW gave me the wrong size bolt, so a little tick with a grinder, and we're back in. And there we go, the coilovers are on. It has actually been probably a few weeks, so the coilovers have all completely settled. It's probably at, you know, the ride height that it is going to stay at now. Now, we have actually run into a few little issues. I believe on the front of the car, one of the drive shafts is actually hitting the anti-roll bar, so I know you can either get adjustable drop links or other ways to effectively get rid of this problem, but I think what I'm going to do is just raise the car up a little bit. It has settled, and yeah, we'll show you that now, and you can see what sort of ride height it is currently running. Bearing in mind, these are absolutely on the bottom setting, so yeah, plenty of room for adjustment up, just not any more down. And that is what we're looking like on the front. As you can see, completely closed up that arch gap. You can probably get, I don't know, a finger or something like that in there, but that is what it's looking like on the front. And then on the rear, a very similar story, really closed up that arch gap. But yeah, overall, looking really, really nice. After doing probably about 500 miles, it really does perform as well. Obviously, we are going to the Nurburgring at the end of the month, so there is a lot more to come on the Golf, but this is just number one in getting this car ready for that trip. As you can see, we have also got the up in the background. We are just about to start a new video doing a couple of little upgrades to the up, so hopefully you've enjoyed this video. Make sure you are subscribed to watch future videos and the one coming on the up, because it hasn't gone anywhere. It is still on the channel and it is still getting miles absolutely piled on it. So make sure you are subscribed, like the video, and I will see you in the next one. Take care. Peace.